3, 2,
You ready for this?
1. Time's up.
A delectable Japanese tradition has taken root in American soil. We have been graced with the establishment of our very own kitchen stadium, where our nimble chairman has brought together the pungent flavors of East and West. It is here where the best of the best from around the world meet and face the ultimate gourmet challenge.
It's all good in the hood.
Before we get too far on in this delicate operation, I'd like to go up to the judges, who I see are watching with a great deal of attention here. I want to start with Marc Ecko. Marc, it's nice to see you back in Kitchen Stadium.
Good to see you, sir.
Let's talk about ham.
I'm a big fan of ham, especially the kosher variety. And I understand that the rabbis kind of made this room kosher. Is that correct?
No, I don't think that's possible.
That's not possible. You mean there's pork in this ham?
Yes, there's actually pork in the ham. All right, with that said, let's go next door to Corinne. How do you feel about the secret ingredient today?
For me, ham is a very great ingredient. Enjoying watching what the chefs are doing. Curious to see why we don't see any green eggs in ham.
Well, it's early in the battle.
It is.
Ted Allen, you and I have spoken together of many meat products, but I don't remember us ever speaking of ham.
It's great as a main ingredient. It's great as flavoring. I see all sorts of things being combined with it down there that I really like.
Cool. Well, thank you, Ted. Let's get back down to the floor. Over on our Chef Cat course. Thanks, Kevin. I think we're straight on that now. Let's go up to the chairman and get the judging underway.
Chef Hilson, please tell us what your approach was to today's battle.
We had a game plan to just keep focused and do what we do best, and that was the idea, and we just stuck to it and really showcase the ham flavors in every dish. So first off, we have lobster carpaccio as such, which has been stuffed with country ham, and then we made a ham broth, which we reduced down, just poured that over just to slightly cook the lobster. On top of that, we put some grated serrano, which we froze down, and then just topped that with a little bit of corn, popcorn shoots, and pea tendrils. So please enjoy.
Because it's battle ham, maybe as a first course, making a statement about the ham was a little confusing for me. The two textures together, the lobster and the ham, were kind of a little bit funny to me.
I actually think this is very successful use of the secret ingredient. And I think the primary interest in this dish is the broth. There is such a strong flavor of the ham in the broth. There's a nice saltiness, but it's not overly salty. Consistency, I can see Mark's point, but I think that all the ingredients work very well together, but what combines and brings the whole dish together is the broth.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I think of ham as a really nice, strong, aggressive flavor. Actually, here, it really plays nicely with the sweetness of the lobster, and the lobster's just perfectly, just barely cooked. An interesting dish. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Chef Hilson.
What we have is we have a twice-baked ham souffle. We made a ham puree, mixed it in with some bechamel, and fold that in with egg whites, baked them, chilled them, and we've rebaked them. What we actually served with it is a classical kind of cream reduction with it, but we've used a bit of goat cheese in there and also some grain mustard. So that's really going to play well in with the ham, emphasize the flavors in it.
It's a very sort of rarefied way to do eggs and ham.
Yeah. Wanted to do a little bit different, you know.
Very nice and very light, fluffy, delicate souffle.
Thank you.
I'm glad you left some little bits of ham in there so that you could get the texture.
Thank you very much.
These classic profiles of the taste of ham and cheese and mustard, just done at the highest level of execution. You know, really kind of things that taste yummy in between two pieces of white bread, but done at like...
Thank you very much.
Chef Hilson.
Okay, so this dish you're going to have to do a little bit of work yourself. What you're going to do is it's a form of a carbonara, pretty much. And what you're going to do is you're going to crack the egg yolk and then just mix it in with all your pasta. It's a garlic cream, which has been reduced down. We've tossed the fresh-made pasta, which we made with some serrano ham. Cut a disc out serrano ham and then put the egg yolk on top, a little fresh Parmesan, and some cracked pepper. So please enjoy this. I think you're going to like it.
You had me at ham and eggs, you know. As soon as you put the plate down, I got chills. Cheers. Really good.
My only criticism is a very, very small portion.
Yeah.
It's not nice. The pasta is magnificent. I love the way you incorporated the egg on the top for us to mix it in and make it that interactive experience. It's pure satisfaction.
Okay, next up we have a ham and cheese pétivier. A pétivier is basically a French-style tart that's completely enclosed up in puff pastry. We've actually layered it with ham and cheese. We've used fontina and gruyere in there. Then we have a sun-dried tomato and rosemary pesto. It's going with a little salad of frisée and roasted shallot. All of these flavors together are really going to come together, and hopefully they're going to remind you of eating a grilled cheese with ham and tomato soup, but in a much more elaborate way.
I think a little more creaminess from the cheese inside would have enhanced it even further. Although I will say that the intense flavor of the ham comes out when you put the tomato pesto, did you say?
Yeah.
And the onions. The combination of all of these things together really gives you a fantastic flavor.
It was terrible. They forgot to serve me.
Oh, you poor thing.
It was great. It comes off real effortless because the flavors are so familiar, and they just all work together amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're doing your British culinary heritage proud, sir.
It ain't for no fish and chips, that's for sure.
Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
Next course, please. Chef Hilson.
Okay, so finally we have a stuffed saddle of rabbit, which has been stuffed with 2 types of ham, both soaked and unsoaked, and then it's been wrapped in prosciutto, served with porcini mushrooms to bring out a little bit of nuttiness, and then a butternut squash puree finished with mascarpone.
When I first saw this dish come out, it seemed like there was going to be too much about the rabbit, but you've given it a good enough wrapping of prosciutto that the rabbit really fades into the background as more of the texture, so the structure, because the prosciutto really is the predominant flavor. And then I also like how that pairs nicely with the earthiness of the butternut puree and, of course, with the mushroom.
The concept is great. The flavors have tremendous potential and are very good. My only problem, I would enjoy this dish more if it weren't slightly undercooked.
Okay.
So for me, it's not something that I can thoroughly enjoy.
Chef Hilson, thank you for a wonderful meal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I take this dish very seriously, as opposed to fun.
Thank you.
It's seriously perfect.
Welcome back to Kitchen Stadium and Battle Ham. The second round of judging with Iron Chef Kat Cora is just about to begin.
Iron Chef Cora, please tell us what your inspiration was for today's secret ingredient.
Well, ham is universal. Again, I'm pulling from my Mediterranean roots, my southern roots, in this menu that you'll see as we progress. And we're starting today with the ham and Gruyere croquettes, and they're with a trio of mustards. We've got the whole grain, tarragon, and a simple Dijon. The croquettes have been formed with the Virginia ham, the Gruyere, and some pâte à choux to bring it all together, and then finish with a little fleur de sel. Enjoy.
Having been to Spain and had jamón croquetas before, I think they're very successfully executed. They're very fluffy, light. You really do taste the flavor of the ham. There's nothing else going on. I don't even need the mustard, personally.
I enjoyed them very much. Like a big bucket of them. Go watch a movie.
God, we got a ton
Side
of them back there.
Mustard. It's like, better than popcorn.
I love that. What we have here, we've made dumplings from the uncooked country ham that's ground it up to make these dumplings really, really nice and light. Some matsutake mushrooms, a little bit of lime, toasted garlic, some nasturtium flowers for a little pepperiness to add to it, a little bit of chili oil, just a touch. We actually cook the matsutake mushrooms with the garlic and finish the broth with it as well.
That's a really beautiful dish. It looks as if the nasturtiums are growing out of it, and the dumplings are fluffy, and the ham is the dominant note there. I also like the broth. I like the mushroom flavor in the broth. It is peppery. I like pepper, so I'm enjoying that.
The dumplings, not so crazy about them. For me, they were a little gummy, a little chewy. Didn't really feel as much of the ham effect as I would have liked.
Iron Chef.
Okay, so classically, in a lot of areas, serrano, salsify, wrapped in phyllo dough is somewhat of a classic dish. It's done a lot, and it really goes well and blends perfectly with serrano ham. We have some Asian pear and Treviso under it that's been braised lightly. Also, some salsify puree on the bottom with just a little ham broth in it. So enjoy.
Salsify is one of my favorite root vegetables of all time, and it's so underrated. Not only underrated, but underused. It's so difficult to find. And here it's just the combination, the way you use it in 2 different ways, but it really is enhanced by the ham. And then the sweetness of the Asian pear and a little bit of bitterness, but sweetness of the red here. I mean, the whole thing is just, it's a lot of fun in the mouth.
This dish was just unbelievable.
Wow.
And for me, I think it showed the, in terms of, you know, the secret ingredient and its ability to kind of add so much purpose to all these other flavors on the plate, from the sweet to the vinegar taste to just this mix of textures. And this was like a ham adventure.
I love that.
A ham venture, if you will.
Iron Chef.
Well, when you're doing ham, you got to do green eggs and ham. But in this case, it's green ham and eggs. And what I have here is a sweet corn zavillon and a poached duck egg with obviously the Serrano ham that's absolutely excellent with this. Just a little piave vecchio, cheese, and a little brioche in the bottom for toast.
And then the green, is it a pesto?
It's a chimichurri sauce.
Wow.
Just a fun dish. And it's the way it was presented, the color, and just, you know, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Not to be contrarian, I take this dish very seriously as opposed to fun. I'm not saying it's not fun. It's fun to eat, but it's seriously perfect. It's seriously fantastic. It's just so balanced. The egg is beautiful. The brioche, the corn, the sweetness of the corn. It fulfills all those levels of satisfaction. Of yumminess, exactly. Yeah. It's yummy.
Iron Chef.
Okay, well, I know, Corinne, you'll be very familiar with this as a tartiflette. Tartiflette from the Alps of France, and this is a country ham that's been lightly grilled with a mixture of fromage de Savoie, which is a beautiful aromatic triple cream cheese, potato, onion, a little bit of bacon, chive, just a very simple presentation with a ham jus that was made from some of the ham bone. Enjoy.
The cheese and the potatoes really just sort of amplify the ham flavor. It's like ham to the power of 10.
Ham.
Ham to the power of ham.
A little salty. I mean, I know that's the nature of ham, but it just coming off of the other flavors from the other dishes just kind of seemed very singular note of saltiness for me.
Okay. Well, what I wanted to do with ham at the last course was give you something sweet savory. And this is a play on ham and peas and also ham and pineapple. It's a trio. What I have here is a Serrano chip. This is also a roasted ham and pineapple curry relish. And also what I've got here is a sweet pea and avocado puree. Very simple pass with a little bit of lime juice and salt. Very simplistic just to give it some sweetness. And then the grand finale is a cola braised country ham.
I'm all about this chip. It's chipalicious.
Chipalicious.
And I love the curry madras with the pineapple salsa. But I can't get over what an intense taste there is in this chip.
I think that curry roasted pineapple salsa is absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
Just the right amount of curry, wonderful compliment. I'm all about the chip as well.
Thank you.
I may have to go home and cook with soda pop also.
Let's start a new trend.
Iron Chef.
Thank you very
for an
much.
excellent
Thank you.
Next up, the tastiest course of all. The verdict when Iron Chef America returns.